Today we're at a game convention where we're going to be meeting with two vendors to see what the life is like of a vendor here and answer the question, are resellers welcome? I hope so. Okay, so I'm with Jesse and he's running a very busy booth because he has some amazing stuff. Jesse, tell me a little bit about your game convention experience.
My game convention experience has been great. Some of the things that I've had success with is trying to tailor to all avenues. From the low end stuff, like you guys just missed it. I cleared out 400.
You can see the bins right there.
Yeah, $400 games essentially.
Yeah.
I left with all the titles everyone wants in sports,
Yep.
which now I mark down to 50 cents. But then I also have items that are $500, a $2,000 sealed SP blister pack.
The selection that you have really is remarkable, but you typically do toy
I do, yes,
right?
yes. So I always say video games is secondary to me.
Yeah, this being secondary to you is nuts.
It's crazy when people say that, along with I'm just a guy in a house. I don't have a shop, I do online, I do Macquarie. I try to stick to stuff that I like and enjoy. Pokemon's one of my favorite, handhelds are one of my favorites. So,
and you have the coolest Pokemon handhelds. And
actually,
I think somebody's asking about one of these. So
sorry about that.
You're fine.
You're good, man. And Jesse's booth is always popping, and he's the only person doing his booth. Like yesterday, we were like, "Do you have help?" So we took over his booth so he could go and get some food and use the restroom and stuff. Okay, so I have Alpal going through over here, kind of looking at all the Super Nintendo games. When you are venting, how do you handle somebody that wants to do a bulk deal? Do you have like if they spend more than this amount, I'll give them this amount off?
So it varies, especially with me. Full transparency. Street Fighter Alpha 2. I got a price at $175. I paid $50 for that.
Yeah.
So my margins, if someone wants to send me an offer, is a lot better. But like then some of the Pokemon games, like I might have $100 into Crystal. So if someone wants to offer me like 110, that margin. So I always try to keep a mental note of that.
Yeah.
And it helps with my negotiation process to know where my room's at. So I don't have a flat rate of saying, okay, I can take 70%. Because some items I can take more and I'm still ahead. Yes, and even sometimes I get rid of stuff at cost so I head into it, or even take a loss of a few dollars, which obviously you don't want to do, but it does happen.
Just to have that extra cash flow to
put into something that I can sell for a profit.
Yes, very, very smart.
Yes,
I think that's why we bonded so well last year when we met you here. Gosh, we bought how many handhelds from you last year?
I was the guy that had 68 regular Nintendo Game Boys. They weren't even put out. Chase just has an eye for it. He bought a Mario Party box that wasn't even for sale, that was underneath my table. You guys bought all my 64s, including the Fantastic lines. I think 250 Nintendo Powers off me.
Oh, that's right. That's what it started with.
Yes, and because I remember you guys reaching out and you wanted to, kind of make an offer from there, and I knew in the back of my head, because I've never had an experience with you guys. Let's make this deal on Nintendo Powers. Let's get you to my booth.
Yes.
See what I have and start going from there before we start talking other deals. Obviously, it worked out in my favor, and you guys enjoyed yourself to where you came back this year.
I like it. It looks like you got some more people that are here to buy.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get some stuff together. Maybe shoot you an offer on
Sounds
that,
good.
and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so we added up this little stack. I believe there's 11 Super Nintendo games stickered at $7.85.
Okay.
If I did 70%. And threw in 50 cents. Would you do $5.50?
And that's 70%.
That's 70%.
As far as just a negotiation tactic for everyone, you're still looking at these, right?
I'm still looking at these. So this is a little live thing, bulk deals.
Yes.
Try and pay up where you can. So earlier in this convention, pay 100% of what he's asking on certain things that we can just do well on. So there's already a repertoire built.
Yes, I will do $5.50.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, this is some of the stuff I've had for a while that doesn't move well for me.
Okay. And then we can look at some of these. So what we did is we made a stack of stuff where the prices might not reflect what sales history shows, or the condition is a little iffy, and so we might take these by a case-by-case basis. What's your favorite item here?
If I went to like a particular item, there's two items I didn't even know if I was going to bring. One would have been the PokePark DS.
I am eyeballing that thing,
which is something you don't see often. And then
secondary
is the Charizard Bank from 1997. You never see it in the box. Kind of an eye catcher. If I go home with it, I will not be disappointed.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. Where did this come? Was this Pokemon Center? Like, what is the story on that specifically? Because that.
So I know it's an import console. Obviously, we never got. Yeah, of course. It's got the insignia on top, and then if you flip it over, it's got the little Pikachu Shadow. My understanding is they had like a Poke Park like over there, and I remember even when I found that, I got this off eBay probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
I just kept looking until I finally found the deal that made sense for me to buy it, and I bought it.
There you go. Marked at 405.
Okay, coming in lower because of condition. I get that.
like 60% is 243. Would you do like 270?
270?
Yeah.
And my ask is
405.
405. It's 270, but I'm still getting a shirt at one point.
Yes, but I will mail you one.
Yeah, that works.
Now, if somebody wants to trade you stuff, what do you usually like doing for a trade? Do you give?
And I know a lot of vendors have this. Look, I trade at 70% of whatever it may be. I'm not that way. What are you looking to trade towards, and what do you have for trade?
Yeah.
Because that's more important to me than being at a percentage base. Because if you're trying to trade me for something that I know I have like pennies into, or I'm ahead on, okay, I can use that to my advantage. Yes, exactly. And a lot of times you're not doing one-for-one trades. So, and like I tell people, if you want to trade me 4 items for 1 item, okay, we can do that. But now I'm having to sell 4 items to equate to the same amount of selling 1.
That's a really good point.
So it has to be in my favor when I do any type of trade, but I do take them.
And then this guy, Alpal, what'd you find on this one? I want to do this one just by itself because that's a weird one.
Weird because pricing, or
some games like the cartridge is so cheap compared to the box and manual. Yeah. So also just trying to think about that because like this is one of those. This is one of those. Would you do 120? So that's like a little over 60% of marked.
125. Just pull another 5 out since I've been okay with.
Okay, that's fine. We'll add that to our stack. When somebody comes up to your booth and you know they're reselling, how do you navigate that? Do you welcome it?
I don't even blink an eye at it because I'm here to sell stuff. You know, I got the stuff priced.
You're reselling.
Yes, I know some vendors. It's I don't want to say they're bitter about it sometimes. If a vendor comes to me and they buy an item off of me and they take it over to their booth and sell it for more than what they paid for, I do not care. Because I sold the item for what I wanted to sell it for, and like I said, that's what I'm here for. Last year was my first time actually being a vendor ever at Torg, and I met a guy that strictly did Amazon. And it's
Chase?
No, but I befriended him, and we've done thousands of dollars of business throughout the year. I was actually able to change how I source because of what they're able to pay. So there's some stuff that I would never even thought about buying that I know I can buy now to then sell to them. So
that's cool. Your mind for all of that is very, very impressive, and you're very well spoken. So thank you for all of that.
Chase,
we would gladly pick you up. You'd be our toy and video games expert, sourcer. Put Alpal out of a job.
I'm trying to take your job.
Sorry, buddy.
For Alpal Plus.
I think that's fair.
Okay. There you go. That is it. Hired.
You drove a hard bargain. See you guys.
Later, Alpal. Marked at 110. Could you do 70?
110. I'm at 70.
I don't know where mine is.
Factoring in the manual.
Yeah. I'll do 70. Since we'll worry about the
I think
bigger
like
one
65%
later.
came to like $71 or something like that. Okay, and then the big one.
Yes.
So $300 complete. There's a sticker on the label, a little bit of wear, but that being said, it's also, the box is pretty darn nice. It's got like a couple of random things, but that's every box.
Yes.
Where would you like to be on it? Put this one in your court.
As much as possible is always the funny generic answer. I don't have a percentage base, but it's 225.
225. You've been hooking us up. We'll do it.
Appreciate it.
So with these last ones added, we pay $1,240, and Jesse is a very busy man, so we're gonna let him keep rocking his booth. We'll say a thank you, but we have another vendor that we're gonna talk to that has even more that we want and another interesting take on what it's like being a vendor. All right, so now I'm with the legendary Joey. I had a few questions for you while Alpal and the guys kind of look through some some retro stuff. So what's your experience been like as a vendor? What are some things that you really enjoy about vending compared to kind of the storefront life?
Storefront, you are pigeonholed into like bending the knee, sort of, without a better word, I can't, you know.
Yeah.
But when they come to these, they have cash in their pocket they are going to spend.
They are ready to spend.
You know what I mean?
They're not browsing.
Yeah, they're not browsing.
People looking.
Yeah, they're not kicking the tires. That's the big difference.
And we don't have to get into exact numbers, but as far as like what you can do at a game convention versus what you can do in a store.
A good weekend in store versus a good weekend here, we make about 4 times what we make in store.
Wow. Do you have like a mental threshold of where you want to be at? Like, oh, if you spend over $500, I'll give you this kind of discount.
Yes.
How do you handle that? What is your approach?
Yeah,
like?
I mean, if you're not spending a G or more, I'm probably not going to knock more than like 20% off.
Yeah.
The concept that I use is if you sell anything and I need to make a quick sale, a lot of people go to eBay. Fees on eBay are at least 15%.
Yep.
Okay? So even with just any old customer, if they're on the fence about something, I'll mentally knock off the 15%.
Yep.
Because if I was going to sell that on eBay, that's what I would get in my pocket, right?
I love the $100 game example. It's
right.
Like, this game's $100. You sold it on eBay today. Like you said, minimum $85.
Right. You pocket 85, right? So then, and sometimes that's all a customer needs is that little buffer, right?
Yeah.
Like makes them feel good. And
while we're making a stack, this is just business as usual.
Right.
So. Again, Joey was mentioning how he really likes people that make bulk deals. I don't know if you can see over this. There's just a mountain of
Working out
sales
games that they're
they're
doing.
Right.
Well, are you fine if I interrupt real quick?
Absolutely.
Yes. You have these marked at $448.
Okay.
60% is $270.
Can we do 3?
65% is $290.
Done.
Okay. $290. And there are some consoles as well that I want to look at. There's a control deck here. The box is in pretty good shape. I want to be extra careful with this. Just your classic, like this is your base set. Controller's a little dirty, but what you're getting is the box. That's the cool part. So I don't know what this price chart's at, but $200 feels like a pretty good price. We can see what he's thinking. NES.
Yeah.
Control deck.
Yeah.
What's the story on this? How'd you get it? When'd you get it? Do you like getting this stuff?
I like getting it. Complete in box is always, it's nice because it fills up the back line and makes the back line look full for the beginning of the show.
Yep.
But hauling them around is such a pain because every time you move them, you risk damaging them, you know. And
Yeah. So we'll think on this one, but you have some other consoles.
So that's the same
deal?
ones from last year's
Okay.
video. I bought like 20 brand new consoles all at
Yep.
once, and we bought them at an average of $350 a console. This is what I have left. So if I can just get out of these for the $350 I have in them,
Okay.
I'd be happy. I profited on all the other ones. Every time I lug these to a convention,
Yeah.
it just nerve-wracking.
Well, not to mention like these are just massive collector's cases
Yeah.
too that they can rattle around in.
And getting the collector's cases, that's a $50 piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just did another deal. It came to $237. We rounded up to $240, so we're going to add that to our total too. For use with Bayer Digit, it's a blood glucose monitor.
Oh, I still have that? Yeah.
It's $120.
There's a thing that plugs into the bottom of a Game Boy Light.
Okay.
Okay.
Game Boy Light.
And that
DS
plugs
Lite,
in DS Lite.
Okay, I was like, that's a very specific Game Boy.
This plugs into that, and it's the thing that you prick your finger on.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
then
So it's
on the
just-
bottom screen, it tells you your blood sugar level.
Real quick. We're at one.
Slide out of the frame.
You're fine. 180, 65 is 117. Okay. Okay. It's at 568. You do 370. Yeah. Okay. We're getting some great stuff from Joey, but sometimes it can be hard to know what a fair price is when negotiating. So that's why we use price charting, this video's sponsor. Price charting is an easy way to look up or scan your games to check out their value, which is based on the average of sold values. You can also use it to add games to your collection, wish list, and more. And recently they did a card scanning update that's really cool. For example, you can bulk scan unlimited Pokemon cards for free and add them to your collection. This makes it great if you're ripping packs or have a lot of cards you want to value. Their subscription feature is also now available on iOS iOS, which gets you access to a lot more. There's a lot value calculator if you quickly need to value different collectibles at the same time, which is especially good for our business. And one of my favorites is the deal alert feature, where you get alerted if items on your wish list are available for under market price. And with their legendary subscription, there's actually even more features that we use and a lot of other store owners and even vendors here at this convention use. Anyways, price charting is a great tool that we regularly use to help establish an idea of an item's value, and it gives us resources to dig further if we need. You can download the price charting app right now on iOS with our link in the description. And now back to the negotiation. And then one way that we kind of try and scratch vendors' backs is just doing what we can to support them. So actually, there's 2 items. We were joking about this, but then there's Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Wow. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to auction this off on Whatnot. We're gonna sell it. Joey let me know what he has into it. Minus that, we'll split the profit. That helps him out. He said he brought it to 5 shows. And everybody said, that's cool. Then moves on. One of the other things I wanted to ask, when people come to your booth and you can tell that they're reselling.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Is that something that you welcome? I mean,
oh yeah, very
clearly
much
reselling yourself being a vendor.
Right. So being a brick and mortar, so it's the ones that are selling on Amazon that you can usually work with pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because it's just a night and day different market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm more of I like a quick nickel rather than a slow dime.
Yeah.
I know fairly what I have paid for most things.
Yeah.
And as long as that needle's, as long as that's in the green.
Yeah.
There's some things that's like, if I have a $100 game that I paid $80 for,
You're probably not going to
don't have much wiggle room, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just a different $100 game that I know I paid 45, 50 for, I'll go $70, you know?
Exactly.
So,
Joey, we had this last year.
Yeah.
Last sold on it was 100 crossed out.
Okay. I mean, so let's guess 80, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. You want to?
So you want to call it at 80 and then do the percentage?
You want to just do 50 bucks? I don't know what percentage that is. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, we can do. I would like to do 60 because I'm probably 60? In it for 60. You know what I'm saying?
Get you out of it for that.
Yeah, because
it's a cool piece.
It's
a cool piece.
But every time everybody checks it, they think it's the regular one, and they're like, "Wait, why is this 129?"
I know. I was like, I recognize that game.
Yeah.
Okay, 60.
Cool.
We'll,
all right.
We'll add it.
Do you guys do okay with Genesis? That moves slow for me, so if you want to do a little bit of Genesis, I'd be.
Genesis, clean stuff can. I was thinking more so for like Amazon type stuff.
Okay.
But it's also the popular stuff.
Oh, you know what? I'm surprised. Do you want like Mario 2s and 3s? Yeah.
If you have those, we have to take them in clean shape, but
yeah.
I think we can do Game Genies as well.
Really?
Hey, Alpal, we can do Game Genies for SNES, right? Hey, Left Bros.
Yeah, Left Bros, and then that's just the manual. So if you want to take out the manual, and
it has the manual.
it'd be 20. But if you want to,
okay, Dr. Mario, we can do.
Yeah, grab whatever you want out of there.
So just made a deal on the Game Genie stuff. Just gonna go pick through a couple other things, and then there is just a lot more to look at over here. But the convention, the clock is kind of ticking, so I'm gonna have to speed it up. No, down to the wire. I just need to carve out like 4 hours with you. Okay, so we're at 709 on these guys.
Okay.
I'll come up a little bit because Sega CD can do good for us. You can do 480.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you keep shopping, but I need to show you not for resale stuff.
We can look at that.
Okay. Let me go. I'll grab it while you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got some stuff. Let's make a little platform here. Okay, this is Stadium.
This not for resale. This is normally a blue cartridge.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. 20. Not for resale.
Yep.
This is the original Shantae.
Yeah. It's a pretty expensive game.
Uh-huh. Not for resale.
Uh-huh. Fun fact.
Not for resale.
Uh-huh.
Not for resale. This is right there.
Uh-huh.
This is the big one.
Drill Dozer.
Not for resale, Drill Dozer.
Whoa. So that cartridge only is like 120? Something like that? 150?
Charting has the last sale of this at 2022 for $500.
Okay. Well, yeah, the normal Drill Dozer.
Yeah, the normal. Yeah.
And then that is...
Yeah, there are no comps for the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is this anything that...
I mean... It's definitely very interesting stuff.
Oh, and then there's
What is that?
So you know, like the third-party black cartridge NES games that like the Bible games.
It's a Bible game. Is that for
It's-
TurboGrafx?
No, this is Game Boy.
That's a Game Boy game.
Game Boy.
Really?
Yep. And I'm $100 lower than the last sold.
Oh, this is the Lost Levels of Joshua.
Yeah.
This is like the 6th or 7th most expensive Game Boy game.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at we just bought a complete Game Boy collection.
Oh wow.
Every game, just cartridge, but
Okay.
minus like that kind of stuff.
Oh okay.
Yeah, that it looks right on. Yeah, for that kind of stuff, I'm not turned away.
Okay.
Definitely not turned away. Chase actually just added these to his collection.
Really? Does he collect NFR?
Some.
Some. Okay.
If he likes the series.
Right. Yeah.
Like we have this in the collection.
Okay.
For stuff like this, or for these actually specifically, there's actually a lot of those that exist. I don't know.
Really?
Like this one, I think has a lot of comps.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, but maybe what we can do is we can do something similar to those other things if you want.
Yeah.
So we are paying Joey $2,560. Joey, first off, thank you.
Always a pleasure, guys.
So, what would you say to somebody who wants to start vending at conventions?
Startup capital is a big, unless you already have a collection that you want to start off of that maybe, that's a good jump start, but you got to be flexible if you're going to make any kind of money. The people that have their prices and then just stick to that, and I see them always complaining about how they didn't make any money at the show, and it's like, I saw somebody ask for like $10 off a $50 game, and
they were saying no.
No. Got to be flexible. You just, you're not going to move much.
All right, you have to give up one thing forever: vending or having a storefront. Which is it?
Absolutely a storefront, 100%. Easy.
Would you ramp up the amount of shows you go to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I do about one a month. I try to make sure I do at least 10 a year. I usually do more than that, but that's my baseline.
Awesome.
So,
Well, thank you very much for all the deals.
Yeah.
We got some cool stuff, and there's still tons, unfortunately, for you to load back up.
No worries.
So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Bye.
Bye, guys.